haven't had a very peaceful life, especially when I was young. Things would always go different, always different than what I'd planned, and the end results were never very good for me or anybody around me. Even up into my teens, I wasn't a very good person. I was full of anger. I would lash out at anyone and everyone who tried to even get close at all. And let's just say that I wasn't the ideal person to be around. Least of all, when my temper started to flare. My friends knew this, my siblings and cousins knew this, my parents knew this. But it would always have the same end result. Arguments, violence, me cutting myself just to see the blood, my obsession with horror movies and horrorcore music, things I still love to this very day. But when I was 16 or 17, maybe a little older, and I was still living at home, these things would lead to dreams. Not just dreams, but nightmares. And they wouldn't always start off as hair-raising nightmares, the kind that would give you goosebumps. I'm talking about, it would start out calm and, peaceful. They wouldn't stay that way. They never did. And they always had one thing in common between these dreams, at least most of the time. It was the man. I never really knew who he was or what he was doing there. Never see his face, but he was always there. Always in the background. And as the dreams got worse, he would be closer and closer, easier to notice, easier to distinguish, and much easier to remember in my waking hours. Why did I see this man? I have no idea. I still don't know. I don't see him anymore, but the times that I did were horrifying, especially nearing the end. He had long, stringy, dirty hair, greasy and somehow matted at the same time. Covered his face. And he wore red and black robes. These long, long red robes with this black, what looked like a scarf, or not a scarf. I'm not sure what these things are called, but it's like what the priests wear, except for different somehow. It was black. Black as the night itself. This weird hair mixed with how tall this man was, and this black, this black on top of blood red ensemble that he wore, just didn't seem right. And as time passed, I'd keep having dreams about this man, and with every dream he got more monstrous. His fingers would become clawed and long. I would begin to see bits and pieces of his face, maybe an eye that was white yet bloodshot at the same time somehow. His nose seemed to be absent and replaced with just slits like a reptile. His mouth was almost non-existent. It was lipless. It was a very small mouth, but if he opened it, it was like this red light. This negative feeling came along with it, but you would see this red, almost like fire. It wasn't coming out of his mouth, but if you looked, it was like there was fire inside of him. And it got to the point in my dreams where this man would stand inside the doorway of my closet, and he would walk out, and as if I was waking up from a dream, I would look at him, and he would put that long, bony index finger up to his mouth. And tell me to hush. And then I would wake up. And this went on for months and months and months until I couldn't get it out of my head. So I decided that I would use one of the only talents that I had, which was art, and I would sketch what I'd been seeing in my dreams. A day or two later, when the sketch was done and the color was added and everything was to my liking, the way that I thought it looked in my dream, I decided I was going to show some people. You know, the first person I went to was my mother. I showed her this picture, and what happened I wasn't expecting. Her eyes got wide, and she looked like she started to go pale. And I asked her what was wrong, and she couldn't say it right away, but she just looked at me and then looked down at the piece of paper with the art on it, the drawing itself, and she said, "I've seen this in my dreams. I've had a dream that this man was coming for me." And I couldn't believe it. She was having the same dreams that I was having. Now, I don't know how to take that information, but what that information does tell me is there was not something normal going on at that house. Now, I haven't seen this man, this dream demon, in many years, many years. I don't think she has either, but just the thought that one day he may appear in my dream again is chilling. Pray for me.